Now let's see another person right here in the next place, John chapter 15. That's the next chapter. In verse 1, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. So here Jesus now uses another analogy. He's been using the analogy of the union of the body. He used the analogy of eating, of food and drink. Now he uses another analogy of a tree. And he's saying, oh, a vine, I am the vine. I am the true vine. And my Father is the owner of this vine. He's the planter of this vine. He's the farmer of this vine that I am. My Father is like God the Father I'm trying to find which word to express what I want to say, that God the Father is the protagonist of this idea of Christ and us in union. It's God's idea. It's not even Christ's idea. It's God the Father's idea. He decided to unite me and Christ, to unite you and Christ for his own will, for his own intentions, for his own goal. He united us. But here, he says, I am the true vine and my Father is the farmer. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit, he purges it and bring forth more fruit. Not for today. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken, and you abide in me. Now look at verse 4. This is what I want to zero in on today. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine, no more can you except you abide in me. See, Jesus did not just say abide in me. He said, abide in me and I in you. Enter into me and let me become your house, and I will enter into you and let you become my house. Dwell in me and I will dwell in you. Live in me and I live in you. Abide in me and I in you. This is an instruction from Jesus. Abide in me. The word abide, meno, it means to stay. It means to be movable. It means to live in a place. It means to be fixed in a place. It means to settle in a place. A very good way to say it is like in English we ask, where do you stay? We're not just saying where do you live, but when we say where do you stay, we're saying where do you meno? Where do you abide? Where do you live? Where do you always rest? Where is your address? And Jesus is saying, abide in me. Let me become your address. Let me become where you stay. Let me become where you don't move from. Let me become where you settle. Let me become your resting place. And it says, and I in you, and I become your resting, and I in you, and you become my resting place. You know that you are where Jesus rests from. You are where Jesus lives. You are where Jesus stays. You are Jesus' resting place. Glory be to God. And he is your resting place. You rest in him and he rests in you. You abide in him and he abides in you. You live in him and he lives in you. You stay in him and he stays in you. You are his address and is your address. Glory be to God. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can you except you abide in me. In the same way that it's impossible for a branch of a mango tree to bear fruit on its own minus the mango tree. The only way that the branch bears fruit is, imagine this is the branch. The only way this branch bears fruit is to be connected to this tree. If you cut off this branch and put it right here, it does not bear fruit because the sap, the nutrient, everything that it needs to bear fruit is in this tree, and so it is flowing out of the roots of this tree into this tree, the trunk, and going into the branch. And so the branch is partaking of the life of the tree. This branch does not have its own life. This branch does not exist on its own. This branch is connected to this tree. This branch is receiving the life of this tree. This branch is receiving sap from this tree. It's receiving drink from this tree. It's receiving nutrition from this tree. It's receiving energy from this tree. It's receiving life from this tree. This branch is connected to this tree. This tree is the life of this branch. Do you get that? So Jesus said, look at verse 5. It says, I am the vine, you are the branches. He that abides in me, and I in him, he that is connected to me, he that lives in me, he that is settled, rested in me, and I am connected to him, and I live in him, and I'm resting in him. He said, he that abides in me and I in him, the same brings forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing. We're connected to Christ. This union is a divine connection. And this picture is a beautiful picture. It's not a perfect picture, but it's beautiful. It's this connection that you have never met a branch on its own that is alive. You have never met a mango branch on its own. You've already seen a mango branch connected to the mango tree, and that's how it bears fruit, and that's how it stays alive. But you've never met a branch that is trying to produce its own life, and its own fruit, and its own sap, and its own nutrition, and its own water. All of the stuff flowing in this branch is coming from the tree. The only job this branch has is to be connected to the tree. The only job you have is to be connected to Christ. It's to abide in Christ. Because once you abide in him, he abides in you. He's also connected to you. As long as this branch is connected to this tree, even this tree is connected to this branch. And so everything that this tree has, this branch partakes of. Everything that is true of this tree is true of this branch. Everything that is real for this tree is real for this branch. Everything that is true of Christ is true of you. You are everything Christ is. You are nothing that is not. The same life flowing in Christ is flowing in you because you abide in him. You're connected to him. You are one with him. He's the vine. You are the branch. He's the tree. You are the branch. The fruit you bear is his fruit. Is what Galatians 5 calls it, the fruit of the Spirit. That Spirit is Christ. The fruit of Christ on the inside of you. It's Christ on the inside of you producing the mangoes. It's not you, the branch, trying to produce your own mango. It's Christ, the mango, producing through you his mango fruit. Glory be to God. We are connected with him. You are one with him. He's the vine and we are the branch.